Hey, what's up, guys? Baller here. Apologies for those who have been sending me messages and as to why I wasn't able to give a prediction on that last game between Milwaukee and Atlanta. Man, things are just so busy for the past few days. And as you can see, this prediction of mine for this NBA Finals is also a bit late, but as what they say, better late than never. Now, before we talk about the NBA Finals, I'm just asking everyone who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, Baller, to please click on the subscribe button below. At the same time, click on the bell logo. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever there is a new video that is uploaded. So here we go, NBA Finals. It's going to be Milwaukee Bucks representing the Eastern Conference going up against the Phoenix Suns representing the West. Now this, as predicted, it's going to be Milwaukee versus Phoenix, just like what I said during the conference finals. Now here we are. So before we talk about our prediction for this finals and for this game one, let me just share my 2 cents of this match. A lot of people are actually saying that for this year's NBA Finals, it's kind of boring. For this NBA Finals, these two teams are not really the best teams there are in the NBA right now. Now, though I understand the point, there are a lot of injuries, that happened. A lot of injuries have happened. I understand that. I fully understand that. But my point here is that wasn't that wasn't their fault. That wasn't their fault. It could have been them. It could have easily been them. And it's not like when one of the stars of their teams actually got injured, it's not like it was an easy peasy for them. They worked hard for this. Let's start with the Phoenix Suns. The first team that they beat, Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what, Anthony Davis is out, and so it's obvious, they will beat Los Angeles Lakers, and they did. But my point is, it's not easy to beat any team, and I mean literally any team when LeBron James is there, right? Now on to the second round, the Phoenix Suns, who they went up against, Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, we all know they did not have Murray due to an injury too. There are a lot of injuries, man. But, and a huge but, with one T, they had the MVP, Nikola Jokic. I was actually cheering for Denver Nuggets, on that series. But they defeated Denver Nuggets. They swept Denver Nuggets. Now on to the next. They went up against Los Angeles Clippers, this resilient Los Angeles Clippers. And I understand, and everyone knows that Kawhi was out, but Paul George was there, Reggie Jackson was there, Superman was there. And the crowd in the Staples, they were simply crazy. So it wasn't easy at all for Phoenix to make it down here. And you got to give them credit. Now on to the East. Milwaukee Bucks. The first round they defeated Miami Heat, and it wasn't easy too. I know the score of the series might say otherwise, but remember, Miami Heat defeated them last year, and Miami Heat became the Eastern Conference champions, and they defeated them. Milwaukee defeated them. They figured things out, and they shut down Miami in the first round. And then the next round for Milwaukee, Brooklyn Nets, man. Brooklyn freaking Nets. Now I know, Kyrie got injured, man. Harden got injured, man. But Harden came back. And even though Kyrie was out, man, Durant was on a roll. Durant showed that he is indeed the best scorer there is in the NBA right now. I don't care about Booker fans. I don't care about LeBron fans. Durant is the best scorer in the NBA at this time. They had KD. Brooklyn had KD, and Brooklyn recovered Harden. They have other support, but Milwaukee went through it. And on to the next series, this Atlanta Hawks team, man. Yet Trae Young got injured, but you know what happened? And look what happened. Giannis hurt himself too. Giannis was not able to play their last 2 games for Milwaukee Bucks. But look what happened. Bucks won their last 2 games without Giannis. And the last game that they played, Atlanta even had Trae. So that was legit. For me, what Milwaukee Bucks did, that was legit. What Phoenix Suns did, that was legit. They deserve to be here. They deserve some credit. They deserve to be called Eastern Conference champions, the Western Conference champions. I know there were a lot of injuries, but that's part of the game, right? You play basketball, you understand that it's part of the game. You can be hurt any freaking time. You can't blame it to the opponent, unless of course they hurt you intentionally, right? But it's part of the game. So for me, this is gonna be a good game. I mean, a good series. And again, even before the finals started, I already called this one out. It's gonna be Milwaukee versus Phoenix Suns. I think there will be some changes because of what happened, and we all know what happened. Giannis hurt himself and wasn't able to play the last 2 games of Milwaukee. Now, it was mentioned that Giannis is actually available, but it really doesn't mean that he will play. Availability doesn't mean confirmation that he would actually play in Game 1. Unless, of course, he receives all of the necessary clearances from the coaching staff and from the doctors and all that. So that's different. I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of us ain't sure what the status of Giannis' leg is. Giannis may be playing, yes, we don't know. Maybe Game 1, maybe Game 2. But how efficient will he be? We all know Giannis. Giannis actually relies on his athleticism, on his power, on his strength. And all those 3, power, strength, athleticism, you need your knees, man. You need your freaking knees. You need your leg. And again, Giannis hurt that. So that's the first question that is going to be left unanswered until we see Giannis play. How healthy is Giannis on this series? Number 2, who will take on Devin Booker? Of course, there are a lot of options. I can pick. Sorry about that. I can pick Devin Booker. No, sorry. I said Devin Booker. Right? I can pick Drew Holiday. I can pick Connaughton. If needed, I'm gonna put Middleton on him. But as much as possible, I won't put Middleton because my logic in basketball is that if you are a freaking scorer, as much as possible, I don't want you to be that busy on the defensive side of things because that will just tire you out and that will just minimize the scoring capability that you have. So let's see how good Devin Booker will be. And then number 3, the matchup, the basketball IQ matchup here. Chris Paul versus Drew Holiday. We all know how intelligent Chris Paul is, but a lot of us are actually not even giving enough credit to Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, man, he's not a star. He's not an all-star. He's not a Chris Paul caliber, but when we talk about managing a team, when we talk about leading a team, when we talk about basketball IQ, you got to put Drew Holiday on top of the list at this time, or at this era, at least. And again, a lot of people don't see that, don't see it that way because Drew Holiday, again, is not a star, but he is, I'm going to say Chris Paul is still better, but I would say that it's a matchup. It's a matchup to look at. So again, that's the 3rd. The 4th will be the battle of the bigs. Brook Lopez, Giannis, Portis going up against Ayton, Super Mario, and I don't know, maybe they don't have any choice but Kaminsky. They can put Crowder, but Crowder will be too small, too small for those 3 that I mentioned for Milwaukee. So that's a battle of the bigs. Now for this one, I think it's quite obvious that Milwaukee has the advantage on this. Like what I said in the past, in the past predictions that I have, whenever I talk about Milwaukee Bucks, their advantage is in the paint because they're bigger. You know, they're bigger. They got Brook Lopez, they got Giannis, they got Portis off the bench. Man, that's big. They even got Tucker, bro. So, you know, they can dominate the rebounds. They can dominate the scoring in the paint if they would want to. That's gonna be trouble for Phoenix Suns. You know, if Milwaukee would actually figure things out inside. Ayton is a very hardworking defender, but that may mean some fouls, and that could actually limit his playing time, or that could actually limit his scoring capability because of the fouls that he will be carrying in the games. So we'll see. But again, for me, when we talk about the bigs, it's gonna be Milwaukee who would have the advantage. Now, last but not the least would be the bench factor. Both of these teams, they rely too much on their starters. Right? Let's admit that. Milwaukee Bucks, Brook Lopez, Giannis, and Middleton, Drew Holiday. Those are the main stars. But of course, they would need Connaughton. They would need Portis. They would need Forbes. Number 1 to score, number 2 to defend, and number 3 to be ready whenever some shit would happen again, just like what happened to Giannis. For the Phoenix Suns, we all know, of course, they rely on Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Ayton, Crowder. They have Payne, they have Bridges, but others would need to step up too. The other guards, Kaminsky, Super Mario. They have to. I'm sure there would be a game in this. In this series where DeAndre Ayton may find some foul trouble, or maybe tired or something, and they have to step up. The bench would play a huge role on this series because both teams rely too much on their starters. So let's see if bench of the Milwaukee or bench of the Phoenix would actually step up. Highly likely for me, they would have the edge on this series. Alright? So for those who have been asking me who I think would win on this series, it's so freaking tough. It's tough because of that first question that I raised. We don't know how healthy Giannis is. We know that Giannis is available, and anytime Giannis can actually play, but we just don't know how good he would be. But of course, I gotta consider that. I gotta consider that question mark in making this prediction. For this series, it's so tough. It's really tough, but everything is actually pointing towards Phoenix Suns' direction. Giannis' leg, we don't know what's going on. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, they're on fire. But just like I said prior to this, I guess it was conference finals ongoing. I think Milwaukee Bucks will win the championship. I guess I said that. But then, of course, way back then, Giannis is still healthy. It's so tough. It's so freaking tough. But I'm gonna hold on to that. I guess my Milwaukee Bucks. It will be tough though. Milwaukee Bucks will actually win the championship, and that's my pick on this one. It's crazy. It's tough, especially we don't know the situation of Giannis is, but I'm picking Milwaukee Bucks to win the championship on this series. Now for game 1, I saw the odds. I saw the spread. It's minus 5.5 for Phoenix. I'm gonna go with Milwaukee plus 5.5 on game 1. Again, for game 1, I'm picking Milwaukee Bucks plus 5.5. I think Milwaukee Bucks, they are more motivated with what they did. 2 wins in a row without Giannis. Man, they will be motivated going there. And I don't know, maybe Phoenix Suns. It's very possible that they would actually be very confident at that, knowing that Giannis is actually hurt. Stuff like those, and Phoenix is actually young. That's why Chris Paul is a good fit. For that team, because Chris Paul would actually lead and manage them. But I'm picking Milwaukee Bucks plus 5.5 because even though Phoenix will win, I don't think it will be a blowout. All right. So again, for the series, I'm picking Milwaukee Bucks. For game 1, I'm picking Milwaukee Bucks plus 5.5. Peace out. Pass I love it. God bless.